Thank you. Representative Gonzalez?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to thank the chairs for listening to all the people that came yesterday to complain and mention their problems. I want to say thank you very much to Senator Kissel. Very impressive with your remarks. So thank you very much. I want you guys to know that I'm not a lawyer. I was a simple welfare mother that ended up here for some reason. And I think that God has plans for everybody. And I think that from the lines of welfare, me end up here is because of reason. And not a lawyer, maybe can argue the bills or sometimes issues like lawyers here. But I try. You know, maybe sometimes it doesn't come the right way, or maybe the way I want to say it. But I try. And when I decide to go with an issue, it's because I feel passion for that issue. And I go all the way. Sometimes people don't like that, or sometimes I do it in the wrong way. But I don't mean any harm. I just, an issue that I really care, I want to work with, and I want and try to resolve the issue. So again, thank you very much for all your help. We understand, and I know that we have good judges, and we have also good guardians and Litems. I met with so many people because I started with this case in 2010. So I met people all over the state. I went to court, different court, and I watched a lot of cases, which I was very disappointed. Where I grew up, my mother, one of the things that I learned from my mother, it was that judges in my town, they are like God. You don't go to court with wearing short clothes. You don't go to court showing a cleavage. You go to court and you dress proper. That's what I learned. And I came here, like I said before, as a welfare mother, positive in cancer. And when I end up here as a rep, I learned a lot. And it was like like awakening, like say, oh my God, this is going in court. These are the judges. And I was surprised because, again, we have the good ones and we have the bad ones. Now, when I met with these people all over the state, in the beginning, I thought, this sounds crazy. This is really happening. But it was one story that really convinced me that something was wrong with the system. And that's why I did get involved. I met a lot of good people. I learned a lot. And I will say that during these 2 weeks that I lost my son, a lot of those people, they were there for me like a family. So my pain is their pain because they've been losing kids. So I would say that even though that the bill is not exactly what I was looking for, but I think that it's a start, that I will vote for the bill today, even though that is a lot of things in the bill that I don't agree with. But I also has the promise on my chair that he will work with me, that the conversation will continue, and there's room for change. And that's why I voted for this bill. I would like to start saying that line number 5, I agree with Representative Ribembes and a lot of others reps, that even though, and I want to make very clear, that even though that this recommendation came from the minority report, I don't agree, because I think that I learned a lot after the task force. I did learn a lot more, and I am not saying to myself, I don't like the list of 5. But I know that we're going to, we'll work to see, if we can fix, and we can do some changes. It's also line from 25 to 46. And talks about the fees between the parties, and also about the court revise every 6 months. I will ask the question, and I want to ask a question about how the court will come up with the fees, if this is going to be based on the income or what? How it's going to be?
Thank you for the question, Representative Gonzalez. And are you referring to the sliding scale provision that's in there?
Yes.
Yeah, the way I would envision this is that if individuals fall within a certain income level, then their income level would dictate, but it would give guidance to the court as to the expense that they may be able to afford for a guardian ad litem. So it would be a way for the court to find an appropriate guardian ad litem based upon the income level of the parties before them.
So if a parent make, let's say, $150,000, and another couple make $50,000, the scale will be different, but both are going to be paying for the same service, less and more.
It could potentially be less. I mean, the parties could always agree to somebody who's less if the greater earning parties wanted to go with somebody who charged less. But I would envision the sliding scale would have a range of fees that is less for a couple that's earning the lower amount.
And my question is because other than I want to be fair with everybody in saying that a couple that make $150,000 or maybe $200,000, and then a couple that make $50,000, the one that make $150,000 or $200,000 is going to pay a lot more for the same services that the couple they only make $50,000. That's I think that even though that there are people out there that make more money than others, but I think that if it is the same service, I think that everybody should be the same. That's one of my concern. On line 42, the court will review every 6 months following the day of the appointment. Now, let's says that I receive as a parent, I receive some fees, and I don't agree with them. Okay, every 6 months the court is gonna review them. What about if I as a parent says, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right, even though that the court approved that because they will review every 6 months. But after the review, if I as a parent say, this is not right, they never went to interview me, they never went to interview my son, what is after that? If it is any process in place that I will say, Judge, with all the respect, even though you agree with these fees, I don't. What happened? What is the process?
So thank you for the question. And as you'll recall during the public hearing, as well as all of the discussions that have gone on, one of the problems that came up is that sometimes people would not really know where they stood with the guardian ad litem as well with respect to fees. And what this is purported to do would be to make sure that the case doesn't drag on too long without some sort of check on where people stand with fees. Now, just because somebody is working as a guardian ad litem or an attorney for the minor child, just because they fall under the retainer amount, or the initial retainer amount, that doesn't mean that they also don't have to defend the work that they did or show verification for the work that they did. So if they have a itemized invoice and they have all of these things on there that you as a parent or party are saying that never happened, then you would certainly be able to bring that to the court's attention. And the idea is to have those types of issues come up sooner rather than later. And also, if it reaches the point where you just break down, the trust relationship just breaks down, and you feel that you would like to have the guardian ad litem removed, then, as you know, the bill also would provide standing for you to make that type of motion.
Okay. Thank you. I would also like to see in this bill, we have 16 factors, and they define the best interest of the child. And I would like to see that in this bill. When you have guardians ad litems fighting for maybe $200,000 and putting a parent in jail, I don't believe that that's in the best interest of the child. I think that the guardian ad litem is fighting for the best interest of their pocket, and I want to be sure that the judge, and we know with all those testimonies that some judges, and again I'm saying not all the judges, but some judges allow all these crazy fees. So I want to be sure that there is a process out there that we can follow, and that we're not going to have, the same problem, even though that we are working in this, with this bill. So in the best interest of the child, we have the 16 factors, and I would like to see if we can have that in this bill. Line 91, judicial has to establish a procedure from removal the guardian ad litem or the AMC, which I like that because we don't have that right now. But we have to file, the parents have to file a motion, and the judge will listen to that motion. If the problem is not resolved with that, in that hearing, then the presiding judge is going to design another judge to listen to, I believe, another motion. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that's what I understand with this. Now, I'm saying if a parent filed the first motion to remove the guardian ad litem, and that issue, it doesn't resolve with that judge, I don't believe that is the right thing for that judge to assign another judge to listen to the motion. I agree that the presiding judge, I don't think that he should, hear the second motion. But I don't think that is the right thing for him. They already lost the case, or maybe he couldn't resolve the problem for the first time. I don't think that he should assign a judge. And correct me if I'm wrong, because this is what I understand on this on line 91.
Okay. Well, if you read further down, and thank you again for the question, I think the objective was one that came out, I believe was discussed yesterday, and I think it's one I've heard you reference as well, is that you want to make sure that the judge who's making a decision on the removal of a guardian or a motion to remove the guardian is not the same judge who's handling everything else, because you don't want, there was a concern that a party may feel somehow prejudiced if they're objecting to a decision that a judge made. They want somebody else to hear it. They want,
Right.
And so that's the objective. I mean, I think we agree on the goal. There may be sometimes the mechanisms by which it's done. I mean, I know you're familiar with the Hartford court. I'm more familiar probably with Stamford and Bridgeport, but I think some of the smaller courts may have some challenges in terms of how they go about it. But that's, to me, I think when we agree on the goal, I think the mechanism by which it's worked out, we can continue to discuss.
Okay. And the other thing is that line 118 to 127 mention about the college fund. And again, I'm looking for more than that. I think that I want to bake the cake and eat it too. No, I didn't say that. But I think that a college fund, right now we have families, they're losing, the pension plan, people that work all their life, parents, grandparents, helping parents, and to try to rescue the kids from all this mumbo-jumbo that is going on. But if I work for 20 years and I end up getting divorced, and I got a pension plan, or I got a life insurance, how is that in the best interest of the child? That I will lose all my access, and then they're coming after me, I don't have no money now, how am I going to pay? Now, that is not in the best interest of the child, because there's another reason that the guardians ad litems and the AMCs and the judge is going to use against me. And they will tell me, sorry, you don't have no access, you can keep your kid. So maybe there's another reason that they will use against me, because now I don't have no money, I don't have no home, I don't have no pension plan, how am I going to support my son? Well, they're going to say, well, the best interest for the kid is going with dad, because mom, she don't have no money. So I don't think that liquidating, a college fund, even though that is here, but a pension plan or life insurance, even my account, if I'm paid, but I have a couple of $1,000s in the bank, why I have to lose everything when a divorce is ridiculous? They take, in this state, between 10 and 15 years. When you talk about that, when you mention people, my divorce, it took me like 15 years. When we have Representative Carter, that he testified, and he said a couple of years ago he got divorced, he always spent $500. So, we know that it's a problem, and I know that we were trying to correct that. When people out there saying elected officials are not listening, and we come in after you, I'm saying they're listening. They are listening. It's going to take maybe not this year to fix the whole problem. We don't live in a perfect system. We know that. And I know that it's not going to take maybe 1 year this time around to fix everything. And I have that faith that that's going to happen if we don't resolve the whole problem this year. I know that it's going to happen next year. I'm coming back next year unless I die tomorrow, but I'm planning that if we don't fix the whole issue this session, next session, we're going to start to see if we can improve the bill. So again, thank you all of you for listening. Thank you for helping. And again, I'm voting for the bill like it is right now, even though that I'm not happy. And I know, like all of some of you are saying, I don't think that at the end of the day this is going to be the end of this. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Gonzalez.